Welcome to Postgame on the Pitch. I'm Vida Mara era and in full, in person and live. Russell Brown, what's up, my brother?
Yeah, it's good to be back on the show and be back at Lubin Field.
Yeah, the whole one-man thing wasn't working. I'm glad you're back.
I saw you got some fill-ins.
Like I said, fill-in. Substitute teachers don't know what's work. So, all right, we're glad to have you. All right, so Sounders and LAFC 1-1, and this was supposed to be... It was a subtle playoff game, kind of to see measuring up who was who, because the LAFC comes in as the supporter shield, which is the best team right now, and the Sounders had won 4-5, coming off a great win against 4-0 against Vancouver. 1-1. What are you taking from this?
Well, we talked about it on Seattle Sports Weekly this week, and I thought this would be the result. That's a good result. I think a point was what you needed. 3 points was ideal. So just based off a result, which is sometimes, it takes you a day or two to kind of just look at the result, good result. But as we'll dive into it, we left some points on the board.
And you got the result. How? Let's dive. How? Is that where the disappointment comes in?
Yes. It comes in disappointment with the fact that they should have had more points, especially in the first half. They definitely should have gone into the locker room with at least one goal lead. Jordan Morris was very dangerous. They liked that left side, shocker. And many crosses were there, many chances were there. There was missed hits by Nico, missed hits by Christian, missed hits by Jordan himself. So it's just, being clinical once you get it inside the box, not just get it down to that point. And it feels like you left some points, but you could argue LAFC left some points too if it wasn't for Stephen Fry being a great goalkeeper.
Yeah, I mean, early on for the first 15 minutes, I would assert that the Sounders were under siege.
Yes.
Sounders finally got their first meaningful possession at the 4:58 mark in the game. I know that's 5 minutes into it, but really it was kind of a dominant thing. Then the Sounders looked like they got their foot in there, and to your point.
Well, as you said, they're relying on the counter a little bit early rather than they had to sit back and kind of defend, rely on the counter, which is how Jordan Morris you can get the ball, dispossess LAFC, get it up on the left side quick because you have that speed of Jordan, and they relied on that early, like you said, but they got into the match as time went on.
Now, Russ, are you concerned in terms of the finishing, or is it more decision-making, or is it that they came back?
No, I'm not concerned about the finishing at all, especially when you come off a match where you had 4 goals and had a shutout against a Cascadia rival. I think it was just sometimes you have a couple mishits, and they happen to every player at the same time. It's using baseball term, you can be a great team, but one day, the balls just aren't landing. And right now, I think Jordan, go back to the goal where he crossed it back in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, it was just a mishit by Nico, I believe, was a mishit, and then it's just it just happens. Give Nico that same ball 9 more times, and I would assume he's going to hit it above 70%. So it's just sometimes it's not your day when it comes to finishing. The lone goal they have was Albert was gifted a goal, so you could say both sides, the goal that eventually went in wasn't exactly the best opportunity for either side.
Now, in gifted, I think the Sounders earned it.
Sure. But if you're a keeper, should not put that ball in danger. If Steph would have done the same thing, I would have said, that you put the ball in danger. So it was just, I'm saying if they weren't the highest quality chances, weren't the ones that went in. It was the two that were like, wow, I'm surprised, that happened.
Yeah, and I would assert that the Sounders goal was earned because Spencer talked about it at length in terms of that specifically. That's who we are, because they press. I mean, it's like a basketball press. It's not the first person that's going to cause a turnover.
Yep.
It's that one, the third, and the fourth person, like basketball analogy.
Yep. Yeah,
but it's that fourth and fifth person there. So they were able to cause that pressure. So then Arriaga, do we know what the status is there?
Yeah, it sounds like he pulled up right in front of us, right here, attacking or on defense at that point. Was able to hold off a defender, but immediately he dropped and was holding his hamstring and was calling for a substitute right away, and we saw it from the press box. It wasn't great. He just came back from international duty, so it might just be that, he was not overplayed, but it catches up with you. Mileage does. So hopefully he's okay. I don't quite think we have the status update. They're going to look at him a little bit more. We know Raul.
I set you up for that.
We know Raul is a minor one, but he will not more than likely be back before Sporting Kansas City in a week. So that's the update we do have. But as far as Javier, we do not.
All right. So there it is. The Sounders 1-1. They score. And then LAFC scores. And that's where you get the draw. So what are your thoughts going into Sporting Kansas City, a dangerous team, as Sounders.
Yeah, as Schmetzer said, and anybody who knows Sporting Kansas City, they're going to be dangerous. There's a little bit, that one is a rivalry that doesn't get talked about as much. You think of the Cascadia with Portland, Vancouver, or LA Galaxy. LAFC's become one, but Sporting is a sneaky rivalry with the Sounders. They do not like each other. The battles in the Western Conference, they're sitting towards the bottom. I believe they're at the bottom of the table, which is a place that they're not used to being. So anytime you have a team that, has nothing to lose, playing a team they do not like, that's a dangerous situation. Luckily, the Sounders have a week off to kind of rest, get those international players some rest, and get ready. But I think if the Sounders show up and are the Sounders they are, then it should be a 3-point result for the Sounders.
Yeah, and a cautionary tale because Peter Vermees and Brian are actually friends, but it's that nice rivalry that they have. So there you go, cautionary, but if all goes well, like you said, like Russell's saying, they got a week to kind of, lick their wounds and things like that. So that's it from Postgame on the Pitch for the CascadiaSports.net. Sounders 1, LAFC. I'm Osvita Mariera. Here's Russell Brown. Thank you all for watching.